Welcome back. And one thing that is making news definitely is the crude oil prices trading above $80 per barrel. It's a 3-year highs. And the last time you saw nearly 55% of gains in an year was perhaps in 2009. And the demand has been quite strong. There are concerns about inventories. And it's not just about crude. When you look at energy as a pack, electricity, coal, almost everything to do with power and energy clearly seems to be surging higher. Joining us now to talk about that is Peter McGuire from XM Australia. Peter, hi. I remember we were talking last week and you said $80 is just coming. It's there. We are trading above that now. Where on are we headed from here?
Well, good afternoon, Manisha. Look, I'm not surprised. I think when you read through all of the dialogue as far as supply crunches and all of those moving parts, I sit here now and say an 83, 84 handle is very achievable sometime in October. And look, it might shoot higher. It's too hard to forecast, but I think that the upward movement at the moment, it's just been onward and upward, and it seems to have momentum behind it. And as you know, Manisha, you live and breathe these markets. It's all about emotion. It's all about momentum. And when you've got supply crunches as well, that creates a perfect storm.
It is a perfect storm, whichever way you look right now, Peter, because the demand seems to be picking up and the winter demand estimates are pushing markets higher. And then take a look at the natural gas prices, heating oil for that matter, coal at all-time highs, power concerns in China. How do you look at the overall, crude pack itself?
Well, that creates uncertainty. That creates if it was going into a summer and it was a normal year and we didn't have a COVID environment, you'd be thinking, oh, well, you could understand it, but you're going into a winter, you're going into a COVID winter, you're going into supply concerns as far as gas, supply concerns as far as other energies, and from electricity all the way through to heating a home in those bitterly cold Northern Hemisphere winters. So we just got to hope that there's enough supply out there to meet demand. And as you know, that is always an uncertainty. So there seems to be a lot of moving parts that are creating a bit of turmoil for the markets at the moment.
Peter, what's your sense on the October 4th OPEC meeting? Is it too much to expect anything from there?
No, I'm not expecting any real surprises, Manisha. We're still, the best part of nearly a week away. And as it closes in on that, I think again, we've got that uncertainty, the inflation story, the demand picture, supply crunches, how Evergrande plays, what China's consumption looks like moving forward in that fourth quarter, and overall global demand. So I think OPEC's now starting to warm their hands up and say, we've now got big decisions. It's easy to make decisions when markets are asleep and you're in the deep of a COVID, but when you're coming out of that and you've got supply issues, Manisha, that really creates a different framework as far as strategic thinking for the OPEC members.
Fair point. Peter, also, when we look at the investments when it comes to crude has constantly been declining as well. 2019, when you look at the upstream, it was $600 billion of an investment in this sector. 2020 is 50% of that. How do you see the scenario going forward?
Well, that creates, like it or not, your CapEx spending and all of those processes that go into building supply, you've really limited that through your CapEx. Now comes the point in time you pay a price for that. And it was such an uncertainty last year where everyone was thrown into the deep end. No one had lived through a pandemic before. And the costs associated to that, both human and resource, is an unknown. And we're now coming home to see the fruits of our labour, and I think it could be a very tough winter. I've just got to hope, for everyone's sake, that there's enough supply out there to meet those winter demands.
I want to talk about country-specific as well. So while Indian crude basket is now at a 3-year highs, we already are near those all-time highs in sense of petrol and diesel. Europe is looking at all-time highs in sense of natural gas. And every day on TV, we see on how there is this crisis almost on UK roads when it is about filling your tank in. And the US prices have been running up as well. Is this turning into a crisis, a concern?
Well, it'd have to be some form of crisis. I put my mind back to '73 in Sydney when we had a process there, Manisha, that it was say a Tuesday was an odd day on your number plate. So if your number plate ended with 9, then you got fuel that day. The next day you couldn't get fuel because that was an even day. Now, these sort of mechanisms may come back into focus if you've got issues as far as actually delivering stock, and then you've got issues as far as some of the drivers and looking for alternative employers or employment and people to actually drive the trucks. This creates, again, deal tension in actually delivering products. So, yeah, I'm not going to be surprised in anything. When we've gone more, Manisha, we went to minus $40 a barrel. I've seen everything in this industry. I've seen 148 and I've seen minus 40, and it never ceases to surprise.
Sure doesn't.
Okay, all right, Manisha as well as Peter. Thanks very much for that. So hopefully surprises on the upside, or at least for in the Indian context in terms of crude prices.